Welcome to Microsoft Teams User Direct Dial Training. In this training video, we'll show you as a Microsoft Teams user how on your PC client you can use your client to make and receive phone calls, how to use call forwarding, how to set up your voicemail, and how to log in and log out. Signing into Microsoft Teams, you'll do so with your email address and password. That password will be your corporate password set up by your account administrator. Once logging into your Microsoft Teams, it will log you into your Teams icon. This training pertains to calling. So within your Microsoft Teams as a user, your actual direct dial number will be displayed once you're in the calls icon. You'll also see a part calls, if applicable, option for your part calls, a do it forward, custom setup. This is setting up your actual audio devices on what you want to use for your audio, your speaker and your microphone, for example. Your dial pad is to the left of this display with your recent call history in the middle, and to the right you may have some speed dials, some group contacts, maybe add a new group as far as a contact, and other contacts. To add a contact, you can click Contacts at the top and add contact. A contact can be any name within your account, or you can actually just type in a number, hit enter. Now you can put in a company title, phone number, full name, etc., and click add. Once they're added, they're into your contact section here. To dial a phone number, you can do so by using the dial pad or simply click the dial. Putting in a phone number, if you're dialing international, you will need to dial the international code. Click call. Every call within your Microsoft Teams is going to be in a call window. So as you call this person, you're using your computer to chat with them. So over here, you can actually mute yourself using the mute option. You have a keypad for DTMF tones to enter while you're on that call with that person. If you want to add someone to that call, you actually click your people icon, add a number or a participant. It can be someone within your account or an actual other number. Calling that person, you will now be calling them directly to add them into a conference call. So now they're added into this call. This call is now what's called a meeting conference. So here you have the option of disabling the mic, remove the person from the meeting, in other words, remove them from that call if you so desire, and now it's a two-way call. If you receive an incoming call to your Teams PC client, you'll have a floating UI, in other words, a user interface on the bottom right corner of your screen. It'll allow you to answer that call. Here's one for example. Here you can see the caller ID of the person, so I can decline that call and go to my voicemail, or simply answer that call. And again, a call window will open. Once in a call, whether it's received or made, under your More option, you have your device settings, which will actually allow you to change your speaker and your microphone options for that call. You also have a hold, transfer, consult and transfer, and park. Park and consult transfer are applicable dependent on your actual Microsoft licenses. So to put a caller on hold, you simply click hold. They're hearing hold music. You want to pick up that caller, simply hit resume in the top right corner of your call window. To transfer a call, simply click transfer. Puts that caller on hold, and it's telling you now who do you want to transfer that caller to. You can invite someone within your organization by typing in the name or simply dial a number to bring them into the call. That's Jim Lamb. So I can click transfer, and Miss Mary Johnson on this call will be transferred over to Jim. I'm going to hit cancel and show you how to do what's called a consultative transfer. So I'm going to resume her call. She was on hold. I'm going to click more, consult, then transfer. This is where I want to talk to Jim first. So if I want to consult transfer, it puts your caller on hold, put in a number, and you click the number and hit consult. You're actually a new call window is opened. So you're going to be calling this person separately with Mary Johnson on hold. If they answer, you can actually talk to them privately. Say, hey, I have Mary Johnson on the phone. She'd like to talk to you. You have time to talk to her? You do? Great. I can click transfer, and it puts these two call windows together. Or if I get Jim's voicemail, there's nothing saying I'm actually going to get him. So if I get his voicemail, I can leave him a voicemail saying, hey, Mary Johnson was calling for you. If you want, when you get back, if you can give her a call. Thank you. Hang up with him, and then go back to Mary's call. In this example, I'll click transfer to put these two call windows together. And I'm done. Simply off my phone call. For parked calls, if you have this, again, this is a license option within your Microsoft Teams. If you have a parked calls option, you're able to park the caller to where they will actually be hearing hold music. It will give you a 2-digit number to where you can actually enter that 2-digit number or code for anyone within your organization to actually pick up that call. So for example, let's call Jim Lamb again. So I have someone on the call, whether it's inbound or outbound. If I want to simply park them, I can say, sure, 1 second, someone will be with you. I can click park call. When I do, it's parking that call, and it's going to give me a code. The code for this parked call is code 10. I can simply click copy, hang up, because I'm not on that call any longer. They're hearing hold music. Seeing how I park them, I can actually dismiss this person, copy the code, and again, give it to anyone in chat, or I can actually pick this call up. So pick this call up, even from me or anyone within your organization. They will click parked calls. Enter the code and click pick up. That call is now being picked up by me, but it could be anybody within your organization doing so. There are other options within your Microsoft Teams applicable for your number, meaning forwarding and a custom setup. We went over this earlier, so your custom setup is a real quick access to set up your audio devices, what you want to use for your speaker and microphone, whether it be your PC speakers, maybe a headset, if you have 2 different headsets, etc. You can also go into device settings here, and it'll actually allow you to change the speaker and microphone. Maybe you want the speaker to be different from your mic. Maybe your computer microphone, but on the speaker you're using your headset, that type of thing. Another way to get to your settings is over here on the top left. Your horizontal shish kebab. If you click settings, it will get you into all the settings of your actual Microsoft Teams per user. We're going to skip down to actually calls. So within your calls option of your settings, this is where you can actually turn on your call forwarding. Here, all calls ring to me. They can also ring another person, simultaneous ring, or if unanswered, they can go to voicemail, which I have it set, preset, or you can have it go to another number, a call group, a group of numbers, etc. So if I want to forward my calls, I simply click call forward. Forward to, where do I want them to go? Voicemail is the same thing as now I've enabled do not disturb. Calls coming in to me will immediately go to my voicemail. I can add a new number, pick from a chosen number, a couple numbers that I've actually added prior, or actually create what's called a call group. A call group, I can give this a name, so I can add people to this actual group, and actually at the same time, the ring order. How do I want them to call the other people in this group? All at the same time, which is simultaneous ring, or maybe in the order above, in the order of the people that I'm actually adding into this group. To configure your voicemail, you'll click configure voicemail. We'll come back here in just a second. But here are your ringtones. For calls, incoming calls, your ringtones, you have an option, and you can play these options here. Forwarded calls, delegated calls. I'll get into delegated calls in a second as well. Caller ID, if you choose to hide your caller ID, you can check this box, and your caller ID will not be displayed on anyone that you're actually outbound dialing. So to configure your voicemail, to set up your voicemail as a user, click configure voicemail. Here you can record your own greeting, your own personal greeting of your voicemail with your own voice. Here are rules. So call answer rules. Let the caller record a message or be transferred to someone else. End the call without playing a greeting, etc. Down here we have what's called text to speech. Text to speech is a very nice option. If you don't want to record your own greeting, you can allow Microsoft to state your greeting for you. A very nice option. So here, my custom greeting, I'm simply spelling this out. And Microsoft, in a nice, calm, soothing voice, will say, hello, you've reached the voicemail of Billy Fisher, training coordinator with Fusion, etc., etc. When I'm out of office, the nice thing about this is I can actually add a custom out of office greeting, spelling it out, and it would actually state my out of office greeting. And if I want here in my out of office greeting options, I can check off, it'll play my out of office greeting when I have my Outlook auto reply on. So again, settings is here to the left. In settings, calls is going to be your most chosen option to actually use call forwarding and configure voicemail. Back to delegated calls, we're going to go to settings, your main in general setting here. We have what's called a manage delegates. Delegates is where someone else can answer calls on your behalf or make calls on your behalf. So if I click Manage Delegates, I can add someone here. People that I support, if I'm actually a delegate of someone else, that person will be listed here. If I'm answering calls for someone or if they want me to make calls on their behalf, I can add my delegates here by adding someone within my account. They will get a pop-up and I can actually manage that delegate, allow them to make calls on my behalf or maybe not, allow them to receive calls on my behalf, maybe not. So delegated calls is a way that you can have someone taking calls for you or answering or making calls on your behalf. You can also here schedule your out of office. This is the same as in your Microsoft Outlook. Over here, you're going to see your initials. I've actually added a custom picture. And I've done so right here. You can click and change your actual picture of your profile to something, to where other people within your organization will see your picture versus your initials. Here's your availability. So your status, what you're actually broadcasting to those that are on your account, whether you're available, busy, do not disturb. If you're in a meeting, it'll automatically state in a meeting. You can set these statuses for a specific duration of time, and then you can reset your status back to available. The last thing I want to mention is where you have a voicemail. If somebody leaves you a voicemail, if you have your actual icon pinned to your taskbar, you'll actually see this lit up. So when you click it, you'll have an icon that calls, so you'll know it's something pertaining to a call. And then your voicemail, you have an icon or an actual dot here. So if I click this, this is an already checked voicemail. I can call this caller back. I can come in here, call back, mark it as unread, delete it. I can actually even block this caller from calling me again. All calls, voicemail. Here you can filter between whether you want to actually, filter between a specific number if they've called you multiple times. So in a recap, under your calls icon, your DID, your direct dial number, will be displayed underneath your dial pad if you need to give this out for someone to call you directly. You have a custom setup here at the bottom to adjust your speaker and microphone settings for your calls, and you can go into device settings to customize those. You have a dial pad to dial a number or type a name of someone within your organization to give them a call. Your recent call history will be here in the middle of your actual calls icon. Contacts, speed dials, other contacts, etc. will be to the right. This concludes your training. Thank you for joining.